Hey everybody, I'm Dave with the Cream. If you are new to the channel, Cream is for cash flow, real estate, and money. We are full-time real estate investors. We're passionate about real estate investing and we practice what we preach. We've been buying and selling properties for many years now. I think we're going on almost 20 years I've been in this business, and we own and manage a portfolio valued over $50 million. And to this day, present day, we are bringing in over six figures every single month, flipping properties. We do a ton of wholesaling, ton of novations. We do some fix and flips, and we've seen pretty much every facet of the real estate investing business, especially when it comes to single family houses. It's a great place to start. If you're brand new to the real estate investing business, you're definitely in the right place. That's all we talk about. Tons of value on this channel. We'd love it if you subscribed, if you're passionate about real estate investing, just like we are. And today we are talking about probably one of my favorite topics. I think this might be a close tie with raising private money, which we're also passionate about that. That's how you really build this thing. We teach you how to do that. But today we're talking about negotiating with sellers. And here's the thing, everybody. When you are doing this, we do this over the phone. So we're negotiating with sellers right over the phone, and we're getting contracts right over the phone. So we have a digital contract signing platform. You could use DocuSign. We use something called Dotloop. Doesn't matter. You need to get good at basically talking to these sellers over the phone, closing the seller over the phone, and getting the seller to sign your digital signature contract right over the phone if you're ever going to scale this business. That is the way to scale, is being able to get these properties over the phone. So what we are doing here is very much a consultative sale. This isn't a boiler room. We're not trying to slam the seller into selling their house. We're not trying to even talk the seller into selling us the property. So we basically want to consult with the seller. We want to find out what their needs are and position ourselves as the expert who's going to help them solve their needs. In fact, what you'll find in this business is the more people that you can help, the more houses you will actually buy. So when it comes to scripting this out, you really only want a script for a few things. You only want a script. In this video, we're going to be talking about the opening, right? The opening of this dialogue, the opening of this conversation. You're going to want some scripting, some bullet points around the objections and kind of the, rebuttals to common objections. That'll be on another video. And of course, the close. Right? When you get the seller ready to go, you're going through that purchase agreement with them, and you are getting them to click that button and get that contract signed. That's what this is all about. Getting these contracts, then monetizing these contracts in the form of either wholesaling the property, buying the property for a rental, buying the property for a fix and flip, or something of that nature to monetize these contracts. Remember, hey, you can't deposit a contract in your bank account. So that's a whole nother set of videos also, which you'll find on this channel. Dispositions, how to basically monetize the contracts that you're getting. So here's the most important point. So when you're first kind of scripting this out, you got to have a solid opening. You're probably going to want to watch this video numerous times and write this out for yourself. And we actually have detailed training when it comes to how to negotiate with sellers. You can find all of that in our fast track program. It's less than $100 to get started. And it is all in the Linktree link in the description of this video. It's called the Fast Track Program. There's actually recordings of us negotiating properties right over the phone with sellers. There's tons of content in there, everything from raising private money to negotiating with sellers, scripts, contracts, novations, rehab management, property management, the whole gamut. We give it all away. It's less than $97. It's $97, less than $100 a month. That's my pitch right there. So scripting out the opening. This is what you're going to want to do. You got to remember in your mind that this seller is probably a little bit reluctant in making the initial phone call. They're probably a little bit reluctant, and they don't want to be sold. This is a consultative approach. And ultimately, they're going to ask, or you're going to want to basically bring up, this is what we do. You're going to have to kind of get that out there. So here's your script. This is and I don't even have this written down. I've said this so many times, everybody, this just rolls off my tongue. But you're going to want to document this for yourself and kind of use your own iteration of this particular opening. So it's a matter of, okay, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, this is what we do. We buy houses from people who want to sell or need to sell, but don't necessarily want to go through the motions of marketing, listing, and selling with a realtor for numerous reasons. Either A, they don't want to do any work to the property. They want to sell it in its as-is condition. If that's the case, that's great. That's what we do. We buy houses in their as-is condition. Or maybe the seller needs a fast or flexible closing. Some sellers want to close extremely fast. We can make that happen if that's what you're wanting. Or they need flexibility, meaning they're closing on another house. So they really need to structure the sale of this particular house on a flexible day. They need flexibility. We could provide that if that's what you're needing also. Or sellers want to work with us just because they don't want to pay any realtor commissions. Well, we are a direct buyer, so there's no commissions to pay or anything like that. So is that kind of what you are looking for? Does that sound like kind of what you're looking for? What you're doing now is stepping out of the role play, opening it up to them. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. And from there, you're going to get into, okay, what is going on? What makes you either want a fast and flexible closing, wanting to sell it as is, or not wanting to pay realtor commissions? You want to get into this story of the seller. You want the seller telling you the story of why they are selling this property and getting into the situation that they're in. The faster you could get into that, the better. So I will recite this opening one more time. I encourage you once again to take some notes, create your own version of this, or you could just take it verbatim. But essentially, every single seller that we talk to, we're going to use something along the lines of, hello, Mr. Seller. My name is Dave. Here's what we do. We buy houses from people who need to sell or want to sell, but don't necessarily want to go through the motions of marketing, listing, and selling with a realtor and doing the traditional sales route with a realtor. For numerous reasons, some people don't want to do that. Either A, they want to sell the property in its as-is condition. B, they need a fast or flexible closing. Or C, they don't want to pay any realtor commissions. Does that kind of sound like what you're looking for? That was the condensed version right there. So you can take this with a grain of salt. You can use this script and kind of create it your own, but I'm here to let you know it's the ultimate opener. It shares the benefits of exactly what you do. You buy houses, you're the direct buyer, you want to let them know that, but you work with people who either want to sell as is, who don't want to pay realtor commissions, or need a fast and flexible closing. Let them tell you then at that point, what about your offering or what about your program? A lot of sellers will actually say that. What is your program? And you're going to say, well, I'm glad you asked. We buy houses from people who want to sell or need to sell, but don't necessarily want to go through the motions or the traditional process of marketing, listing, and selling with a realtor. Either A, they want to sell it as is, B, they need a fast or flexible closing, or C, they don't want to pay any realtor commissions. Does that kind of sound like what you're looking for? Yes. Okay, what about that sounds most appealing to you? Please enlighten me. Let me know what's going on. And from there, you want to get them telling their story on how they tried to sell it before. Maybe the house is vacant. You're going to want to listen for that motivation. More videos on that. And again, if you are interested in detailed training in seller negotiation with actual recordings with sellers, check out the Fast Track program with our Linktree link down below. Write this intro down. This is just the opening. This is the beginning stages of any negotiation. Hopefully you got some value. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you on the next one.